All right, guys, not too much for you today except for the coaching video. Milestones as usual. We've got a couple of 50 gamers. Luke Nation, who took a couple of years off, came back last week. Good to see Luke back, and Nick Stratoris, who's another in the field. Their 50th games and 100th game for Diane Johnson in the goals. So well done to you guys. Only things I've got to point out today is some reminders, really stuff that I've mentioned before, but either guys have forgotten or weren't listening the first time. So just don't start a game until there are two boundaries in place for all games, except for men's C grade. They're allowed to not provide an umpire only for C grade men's. If it's B grade, you must have boundary umpires there, and wait to the clubs to get them if they haven't organised them before. Needs to be a match day official for both clubs in place. Wearing the proper vest. So just get into the habit of every game looking for the match day officials, making sure the boundary umpire is supplied. And if they aren't, just tell the clubs you'll wait until they get it sorted. I think most of you are pretty good with doing this, but if you do have a red card, can you just let me know about it? I did have one on the weekend where it was a first year umpire, so I understand that sometimes things get missed, but they didn't let me know, so I was a bit of a surprise to get to the office day and find out there was a red card in that game. But generally guys are pretty good at letting me know. I just need the heads up before I come into the office on Monday, and we need to just get things organised before Monday comes around. And just last one, just make sure that we're all sitting with the other umpire, inputting the details into the app after a game. So just things I've mentioned before, but they keep coming up. So I just wanted to remind you guys. I really didn't have anything else to mention. Things are tracking pretty well. Of course, there's always a few issues along the way to deal with, but generally we're going pretty well. So if there's, because last week we didn't really discuss any of the issues, there's probably some things that perhaps you guys have had in games or you've seen in games that you might want to bring up before we get on to the coaching videos. Anyone got anything they want to discuss? Oh, man. This is too easy. Way too easy. All right. If anyone thinks of anything after the coaching video, feel free to let us know. So, all right, let's get on to the sharing. Hopefully you guys have had a chance to have a look at the video, and let's run through decisions. What's your decisions to start with? And then there's a few key coaching principles that we need to discuss after that. So, Paul, Craig, are you able to unmute yourself?
Yep, I've done that.
Great, mate. Have you had a chance to watch the coaching video?
No, I've been working all day. So
no.
yeah, I go cold if you like. That's all right.
Oh, good, mate. See how you go.
All right.
Number one. How's it go, Paul?
Well, it's very, very scratchy. So it's very disjointed there, trying to see what's actually happening. The ball's been forced through for a point.
All right. It's probably a bit hard if you haven't watched the video before. So maybe someone who has watched the video can unmute themselves and help Paul.
Yeah, Cole, Rob here. I think it's all about set kick control, so keeping your arm to play with the ball. The ball was, I guess, smothered on the mark, and then you just sort of...
No, it's not the talking point here. I'll run through this one again. There's another issue here that I want to discuss. So it comes in the contest, what goes over the boundary line. So come up here. There's an appeal for a free kick.
Accidental.
danger.
Accidental, that was.
Yeah. So is that Andrew?
Yeah, it's me. Yeah, potentially in danger. It's a bit of a toe poke. So I'd probably let that go. Like, I don't think there was anything dangerous about it. But if there was a bigger swing, I would have paid a free kick for in danger.
Spot on, mate. You nailed it again. So that was the key point of that video. So really happy with the play on call. If it's a big swing of the leg, 100% kicking in danger. But when he's really not, the players were asking for it. But all he's done is put his foot there and knocked the ball clear. And there was no chance of any injury from that. So, yeah, that's what I was looking for from that example, that it was just a play on call. And even though the players were asking for kicking in danger, doesn't mean we don't pay kicking in danger. Obviously, if there's a swing in the swing of the leg where there's a likelihood that there could be an injury, then obviously we pay kicking in danger. That the extra complication with the kicking in danger rule these days is the contact below the knees, the sliding rule. So sometimes in the scenarios where in the past we may have paid kicking in danger, these days we pay a contact below the knee. So if a player dives in and takes the legs out, then it's a free kick to the player who had his legs taken out. But in the cases where there's no contact below the knees and the player goes to kick the ball and it's a big swinging leg, it's a kicking in danger. But in that scenario, there's no big swing, simple, little stab of the foot. Play on is a good call there. All right. Bo Girdham. What's the beanie you got, mate? Is that
Mate, it's called having a bald head and it gets cold.
no, but is that a
It is, yeah, the big freeze one
like
from last
freeze
year.
one? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you got the second one, mate. Have you seen the video?
Yeah, I just watched it before.
Cool. Good. All right, a little bit to unpack here. What'd you see?
Yeah, I was really happy when I was watching it live before. I'm really happy that they didn't get sucked in for a strong tackle, because it was a really strong tackle, but I don't think it was unwarranted. Probably after when one of the guys picks it up, takes 2 or 3 steps and just sort of drops the ball. So it's probably holding the ball, I'd say.
So, no.
Or it's just play on.
So 100%, the first one is play on. So the tackle is low. It's a strong tackle. There's no high contact. He hasn't done anything wrong. And as you said, really good umpiring, not just to blow the whistle because it's a strong tackle. And what Adam does well here is he just lets it unfold until there's obvious and blatant free kick. And it might not be that obvious until you watch the video a couple of times. Go back and have a look at it. I don't think there's any holding the ball there, Bo. What there is the last tackle slips below the knee and it's paid for a trip.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So in that instance, a really good example of waiting for something obvious and blatant, looking, not just getting spooked by the heavy contact. And yeah, there is a trip there that
That's the one he's paid in the end, is it?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Let me just play that last little bit of it. So there's a heavy contact. You can't really see whether there's a proper handball there that you were calling for potentially holding the ball. Couldn't really see on the video there. I think that there possibly was a handball, but you can't really tell. What happens here in the end? So heavy tackle, spill loose. You can't tell whether there's a handball there. Probably is. That's why it's called play on call. It's this tackle here, which slips down and it trips up the player.
Okay. Yep.
It's that was the right decision. With these watching decisions, the umpire doesn't always get it right, but in that case, Adam nailed it. Darren Hollingworth, you want to unmute yourself?
Yep, all ready.
Go on, you mate. Have a crack at this one. All right, what'd you make of that?
That one there, I think he didn't have prior. I'm happy with the ball up there. I don't think he was into his back. I think it was the tackle and no prior. Didn't dive on the ball, so I'm happy with the ball up.
Yep, good call. So yeah, again, a fairly strong tackle on the ground, but he doesn't land on his back. He lands on his side. There's a couple there. So really, it's not overreacting. Oh, hang on, I didn't quite rewind it fast enough. So there's no high contact, no in the back, and there's no prior. There's no prior. He's falling to the ground when he takes possession. He's not on the ground. And this last ruck contest, it just bounces inside the play. So if it bounced over the line, what would it be when it was over the line? If it was hit on the full over the line?
Oh, it's a free kick if it's hit over the full on the line.
Yeah, that's right. All right, very good. Okay, let's run through the rest of the video, focusing on contest ball. So you'll see some pretty similar themes each week. Pay the first obvious and blatant free kick. We repeat that over and over. Things that you should be just thinking in your mind during the game. This one here, nothing obvious until there's a clear prior opportunity and tackle, ball spills free. Smitty does a beautiful hold the ball signal. This one here, we need to have the guts to pay. Just dives on it, no genuine attempt. He does delay it. I think it's Tony does delay the whistle, allows it to, gives him a chance to get out, which he doesn't, and therefore penalises correctly. So those holding the ball decisions, you can just slightly delay your whistle, like in this one here, dives it, but Steve gives him a chance to get out, which he doesn't do, and rightfully penalises.
The umpire says it has been, and it's going PAC's way. 17.5 minutes gone.
So they just have the courage to pay those decisions when they're really obvious. So you're reacting what happens, as we went through before, a couple of those strong tackles where there wasn't a high tackle. You don't overreact, just wait to see what happens. And here, collects the ball on the ground, held in. He launches himself forward. If you wanted to err on the side of the ball player and pay it in the back free kick, no problems. I agree with Jason here that it wasn't in the back, but if you feel that way inclined, erring on the side of the ball player is no problem. But if you see it that the player with the ball jumps forward, as I believe he does here, then holding the ball is the right decision. So just letting it unfold. And then had a chance. In the end, he threw it away. Illegal disposal. And good advantage call. So while we're hot on the holding the balls, if the ball's on the ground, the player takes possession. When it is okay to ball it up is if there's a pack with hands from both sides on the ball. So there's an example here where holding the ball wouldn't really be appropriate here
tackling pressure being
because both had hands on that one.
Getting down there and dirty, bringing the ball to turn, they have to separate them. So
we want to have the courage to pay the hole in the ball when the player on the ground does take possession, but if it's both sides, then the common sense obvious thing to do, as in here, is just ball it up. Both players have got hold of that one.
It's really, really tight, tough grand final football here.
Right. So hold the whistle, let the play unfold. Sorry about the typo there. So good contest, nothing high. No holding the ball decisions. Just letting the play unfold. And in the end, no obvious and blatant free kicks, just good common sense umpiring. So it takes possession with the ball on the ground, but then gets to his feet. No prior, held in, ball up. Keep your vision on the last act of play. Really important if you're in your first year umpiring. This is something that some guys take a while to get used to. As a player, coach, spectator, you tend to just follow the ball. In this case here, you don't want to miss those type of free kicks. So just make sure when a player handballs or kick that you keep an eye for the late contact or the high contact that is in there. Our priorities look after the ball player. So if you can protect the ball player, like in this example, playing in the back, no one loses any sleep. Rewarding the player who gets the ball first. So in this one here, good vision of Bill to see that arm being held. Player in front going for the ball is rewarded. Player behind who's trying to retard him gets penalised. Keep moving the ball, see the ball head players head and shoulders and react to what happens. They're your key messages, key takeaways from tonight's coaching session. Pretty simple one. So any questions, comments on that one or anything else? All right. This is going to be a short coaching session. I don't reckon I've got anything else for you. All right, guys. 1 week at a time. Starts to get cold and wet from here on in, which means you need to just really work hard, concentrate. Yeah, it's not as easy in the tough, wet conditions. So we're going to get a bit of that in coming weeks. But yeah, if we can keep the standard going as we have so far, you're making me a happy man. So well done for the effort so far. Cheers, guys. We'll see you at training on Wednesday.
Thank you.